Yes! Yes, yes! Come on! No! No! Come on! No, 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 no! Ah! Oh, God damn it! Wait, we can do it! We can do it! We can do it! Oh! Oh! Why? Why? Why do you hate me? Oh! Oh! Oh no. I'm not crying. I've got soot in my eyes. Hello world, it's BIRDOPREY.
Fire in the sky. Good shooting, Mr. Scott.
It's the anti-tracker.
We will return to your scheduled programming shortly, or we are currently experiencing technical difficulties.
What is going on, YouTube? Michael J. Crawford, the Anti-Tracker here. Good to see you all. Commander Shutter is first in the house today, says first. Thomas says hi. Quick second. Cinnamon is third, says hi. Kronos says first. Not Bradley says zup, y'all. Commander Shran says hello, everyone. BIRDOPREY says kapla. Yes, the former leader of Kuroga. Mike Richards is here from Columbus, Ohio. Thomas still at the game. R.I.P. Kuroga. And number 15. You got it, Thomas.
Sir, we are being hailed.
On screen. What is your problem?
I am Lore.
Do you need help?
I have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Lore Reloaded.
Let me guess, the rubber band broke, right?
I make YouTube go.
Ah, yes, the classic. Although, you know, I think that one would make more sense if it was actually Bird at this point rather than Lore. But we don't need to pick on Bird too much. He had a rough day. Corona says, about time you run on Trigger. You play too much Space Engineers. Actually, as you know, Kronos, I was assisting Bird on his stream. And then I had to take Auntie for a walk. As you can see, she is back from her walk and looks sad as always. All right, so John DeMarco says hello. Bradley says Bird is wasting another Cialis. Bird is laughing at that because he realizes what a waste the Cialis was. Josh says, why is Anti-Tracker always watching Bird's sex tape? Miss Anti-Tracker needs to move in with Dr. Alex till Anti-Tracker gets help. I'm getting help. I've been seeing a therapist for the last few weeks. Tom says, Kronos, you're a band. Anti-Tracker needs to play more Space Engineers. And Kronos says, Anti-Tracker, Anti-Tracker. Ooh, Anti-Tracker. Guess what? What, Kronos? What? I can never pronounce your name right. Arseka, however you say it. Hail, mighty Anti-Tracker. Hey, I am so sorry I can never get your name right, but welcome. Don't forget to switch to live stream. I assume you mean live chat. And thank you, Kronos, because I forgot and I just switched it. And then Kronos says, Anti-Tracker, Bird called me a little bastard. I'm so honored. Bird called you a little bastard. Okay. Well, that's just Bird for you. Aaron Matthews says, Anti-Tracker, shooting Bird in the back earlier was rotten. Well, first of all, Aaron, I did not shoot Bird in the back. I will absolutely state that with 100% certainty. When I said I was unarmed, I was not kidding. I did not have any weapons of any sort on my person. I did, however, have a grinder on me, so I ground him in the back. And actually, Aaron, in fairness, it was a simple case of me attempting to serve Bird with the proper extradition papers, but I got the wrong device out. Instead of the clipboard, I accidentally grabbed the grinder. Because, you know, as many of you know, Bird has shot me in the back a couple of times now under the pretense of peace. And in this particular case, Bird invites me onto his ship on a peaceful day, and as soon as I get on the ship, the doors are all locked. I can't go anywhere. I can't access anything, and both Bird and Wesley are standing there pointing guns at me. So I apologize, but I felt that I was being threatened, and I took reasonable action to escape at the first opportunity. It was clear that Bird was simply leading me to a death chamber to be executed, and so I killed him, and then immediately, I didn't try to sabotage the ship. I killed him, I ground my way out of the ship, and I left. So, I completely innocent. Well, Auntie does look like, yeah, she always has that look on her face. She's, except for when she's literally running and jumping, she always looks sad. But she is the sweetest little dog. Oops, I meant live chat. Good call. No problem, Cronus, but thank you for the reminder. Aaron says, and no matter how rotten you are, I still press the like button. Well, you know, that's because you're a good person, Aaron. A better person than me, apparently. Miles not on, unsubbing. Yeah, what's up with that? This just said, Antricker prefers to grind men from behind. Oh, man. Well, I preferred not to grind men at all, but, you know, in self-defense, I will use whatever I have available. Bird has a ship. Can it fly? Well, here's the thing, Commander, and this is the thing about Bird of Prey. Yes, he has a ship that can fly. No, Bird had nothing to do with the construction of said ship, and the person who did build the ship, Wesley Crusher, wouldn't let Bird fly it anywhere near anything that he could crash into, which was very wise of Wesley. Now, the only damage I did to the ship was I destroyed one door so that I could get out. But yes. If you lower yourself to your enemy's standards, you become less than them. That is true, but that's why, Bradley, if I were lowering myself to Bird standards, I would have just started grinding down the ship from the inside. I could have done a whole lot of damage and caused the ship to crash. But instead, I decided to simply make my escape and leave. And that's all I did. Today will live in infamy. A national Turkestani holiday has been declared. Yes, Chris, it is a holiday. For they tried to capture your leader and they failed. And of course, Bird went down in a horrifically wimpy struggle. The Renegade says, good morning, how you doing? John DeMarco said, you grind a man in the back? Well, this is the safest way, isn't it? Well, yeah, especially if they are carrying guns. Kuroga had death chambers. Yes, they do. Sci-Fi Sith says, hello there, Edgetrigger. Hey, Sci-Fi, good to see you. Chrono says, oh, zing. Aaron says, the bickering between you and Bird makes watching Space Engineers worth it. And RMP says, greetings, Sesame Street fans. You always come up with something different. So, Bird Prey says, Anti-Trigger's admitted his guilt and now is wanted for murder in Kuroga. You've been wanted for murder in Turkestan for a very long time, Bird. Don't try to pin this on me when all I was doing was defending myself. So, you know, I understand you are, you know, you're a treasonous pig, but that's all right. Your Space Engineer's massive ship versus an Imperial Star Destroyer. That's a good question, Sci-Fi Sith, but I would have to give it to the Imperial Star Destroyer for similar reasons as when I talk about the Connie versus a Star Destroyer, where I give it to the Connie. Star Destroyer has better range than any ship in Space Engineers. Space Engineers has a max weapons range of about 1 kilometer, whereas Star Destroyer has a max range of about 15 kilometers. So the range is 15 times better for the Star Destroyer, and Star Destroyers are clearly much faster than any ship in Space Engineers. Space Engineer ships can only go up to 100 meters per second. I would, yeah. Bird of Prey says, I was resurrected. Yeah, we know. You have the same technology available to you that we have. Of course, you couldn't build it. You had to have somebody else build it for you because you're too much of an idiot to actually build anything that functions. But that's okay. Oh, and I thought the title said Bird has died, now we weep. Concerned for a second. No, we wouldn't weep. You should have ground down the power plant before leaving. You know, Josh, I considered it, but then I thought that would be stooping down to Bird's level, so I didn't do that. Resurrected BIRDOPREY 5. Yes, Kronos. RMP is laughing at Kronos. Josh and Rebecca, one of them is here, says, Hail Doom. Oh, wait, wrong stream. Hey, T-Tracker, good to see you, my friend. Renegade says, all's fair in love and war. That is true, and Bird, obviously, you know, here's the thing, Bird. I would not have done that if it wasn't for the fact that you guys pointed your guns at me and locked me in the ship. If you hadn't done that, I would have left in peace. Y'all need to build an arena or something where you can settle your differences. Whoever wins gets something agreed on before the match. Actually, we're working on that, something exactly like that, Bradley. But not just for me and Bird, but for everybody on the server to be able to participate. I wish there was a Star Trek version of Space Engineers. That would be cool. But I tell you, Aaron, people have built ships from Star Trek, Star Wars, all sorts of stuff. Now, I know that you can go on to the Steam Workshop and download blueprints to all these ships. And while you can do that, if you come into the game, you're certainly welcome to do that. Personally, I'm against it. I don't like using other people's designs. So everything that I build in Space Engineers is my design. The TRD Goliath, which is under construction at our base, assuming that Wesley hasn't destroyed our base while I was offline, the TRD Goliath is my design through and through. I built it entirely in creative and then made the blueprint myself to bring into this game. It's a simple one-man escort vessel, and it is a powerhouse of a ship. However, it's going to take time to finish construction. That's the problem. And since I don't have slaves like Bird to do all the hard work for him, it takes me time because I don't know the game that well. And granted, Thomas has helped a little bit with the construction after I set up the projector and everything. He's done a little bit of welding on the ship. And I'm not sure if Chris, if you have or not, but I appreciate, but Chris has been basically getting the raw materials together through mining and stuff that I've been using. So we've been really doing a team effort, unlike Kuroga. You and Bird act like an old married couple. No, me and Mrs. Antcheck are an old married couple, and we don't act anything like me and Bird do. Wesley is in the house, says hi. Hey, Wesley, how's it going? I'm hanging in there, my friend. I'll be honest with you. I'm really hurting today, but I'm in a fairly good mood after watching Bird die like a little wimp. I've been out of the loop for a while. What's the status of the hidden didn't turn? Well, so RMP, it's no longer called the hidden turn. It is called the Goliath. We had a big discussion about that a couple of days ago. It is under construction at our base. So yeah. And Aaron wants to know, so did you get the grinding on video? Unfortunately, no, I did not, because it was, I was, trying to figure out what to do because I was being escorted to my execution. I didn't have time to start up the recorder when I saw my opportunity to strike. And Wesley says the locking was an accident. A lot of accidents seem to happen with Kuroga. Kind of like when you accidentally destroyed one of the other player's ships, right? You guys just accidentally kill people a lot. And so I'm sorry, but you are responsible for what you do. If you build the arena, can you pipe the music in? The music I mean. I would love that, but I don't know. The doors are always locked when no treaty between factions. I was opening the doors for you to leave. I couldn't leave the doors open because the ship is pressurized. Actually, you can leave the door open and let the ship be depressurized. And Wesley was safe on the bridge, and you guys had plenty of supplies, so you wouldn't have been in any danger. RMP says there is a Star Trek Starship build game. I have not seen it. Mark Patterson says, hiya, Checker. Good to be back. Good to see you, Mark. Wesley says, I designed the Lagmore and I have not found your base yet. Okay, well, the Lagmore is, I'll say this for you, Wesley. The Lagmore is it's a decent looking ship, but I gotta say, Like I'll say this, Lagmore, I'm sure many will say looks better than the Goliath, but the Goliath, I would dare say, is a more practical ship, and you'll see that, Wesley, if we ever get a chance to actually duel it out. And I hope we will, honestly. I think that would be fun. And RMP says, Cap, sorry, no biggie. Hey, that's not a big deal. Chris says the TRD Pack Rat is an all-original Turtistani design as well. Exactly. So we in the Turtistan faction, we believe in expressing ourselves artistically and creatively, and so we're building our own original ships. Bird just sits back and lets other people do it for him, or he watches YouTube tutorials to tell him how to do it. He has not done anything original at all. He's taken other people's stuff, and he might move one block from one side to the other and say, "Look, it's all mine now." See. Daniel's in the house, says, hello, Ed Checker, how are you tonight? I am in a lot of pain, Daniel, but I'm in a good mood despite that. And so, but thank you for asking. Aaron says, Ed Checker, if I get the game and come onto your server, I would be my own nation that involved itself not in the quarrels of lesser nations. And you are welcome to do that, Aaron. Just be prepared. If the Kurogans find you, they may attack. So you do want to have defenses. Surf says, Enter, I thought Mr. Miles was your slave. Well, first of all, no. Mr. Miles is my indentured servant, not my slave. Second of all, Mr. Miles is not in the game anyway, so it's moot. Wesley says, hey, Checker, what base? The moon base? I didn't say we had a moon base. I did not say anything about a moon base. There's probably not a Turtistani moon base. Next week, it's D23, and rumor has it that they will announce a Hulk TV series for Disney+. I would find that very surprising, but very welcome if they do. Surprising just because I would think that they would have to get approval from Comcast Universal to do it. And Bird says in all caps, you were being escorted off the ship. Yeah, to my death. And I'm sorry, Bird, when you're being escorted down a corridor at gunpoint, you kind of think you're about to die. Accident, LOL, not when it comes to Kurogo, yeah. Nerds! I'm a nerd. Nerds! Yes, M, you are a nerd. You are one of us. For an arena, you could probably find a copyright-free music that's equally good. Yeah, we'll need to do something like that. I know that Cinnabon and Wesley are diligently working on stuff like that behind the scenes, and I can't wait until we have an arena and we have our first arena match. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And Cinnamon says, yes, you can add music now that scripts are on. Okay. Problem, we'll have to find something that would be good for an arena battle type thing. I'm sure we can find something. Live with Matthew says, good evening. Hey. Chronos says, hello, nerd. And KG313 says, what is it called? Yeah, I'm kind of wondering too, RMP, what is that game you're talking about? Darren says, Anttrigger, nice glasses. All right. They're the same ones I wear every day, Darren. I did go to the optometrist today. However, I won't have my new glasses until the end of the month. It's the first duty of every prisoner of war to attempt to escape. That is absolutely true, the Renegade, and that is what I did. I saw the opportunity, and, it's not my fault that the Kurogan security didn't bother to confiscate my grinder, so I took it out, and I killed the honorless dog that was attempting to escort me to my death, and then I quickly made my escape, and I did not do anything else. You know what the Lagmore can do? It's tougher than it looks. I do know what the Lagmore can do, Wesley. I do. And that's why I think it would actually be an interesting slugfest, the Lagmore versus the Goliath. And this is the, and don't get me wrong, Wesley, I'm not crying foul or anything, but this is why it's, why I was initially a little leery about you taking sides in the game, because you know things that the rest of us do not. Like, I have no clue how to make a self-repairing ship, right? And it's not like I have, because I'm constantly on the phone with the doctors and the insurance people and all that. I'm constantly going to the doctor's visits and all that crap. And so it's not like I can just sit around and watch YouTube videos all day about how to build various things. So I wish I could, but yeah. I'm already up the SOB Jackson, every ship built by me. I'm already up the SOB Jackson, every ship built by me. You built a ship, not every ship. And I know you built a prior version that crashed. You know, you flew into a couple of mountains and stuff, but yeah. I remember Goliath versus Kit battle in Knight Rider, a great-looking truck. Spoiler alert, Kit was destroyed in the battle. That Pontiac was just too little for that huge truck. I don't remember that one. I remember Kit versus Car, but I don't remember Kit versus Goliath. The name does sound familiar, but yeah. Slave, indentured servant sounds like the same thing to me. Well, it's not the same thing. Andrew, so much a backlog of videos do you see how much of a backlog of videos do you to go to meet our video requests? Too many, Sci-Fi says, too many, and it's been very, very difficult, and I appreciate you guys have been as patient as you have, even though I know some of you your patience is wearing thin, but thank you. Epic Beard says, I did have my own nation, and it didn't interfere with Kuroga, and they did destroy my ship unprovoked. There is no peace when it comes to Kuroga. That is very true, Epic Beard. And I didn't name you because I didn't want to pull you into the conversation. But yeah, so Epic Beard's ship was completely on its own. He was not at war with Kuroga. And he was staying out of it. And the Kurogan dogs just showed up and blew his ship to pieces after they boarded the ship looking for things to steal. So, yeah, you can't trust the Kurogans. Darren says, hypothetically, Hulk works better as a TV show than a film, in my opinion. I agree. Hulk is a better TV character than... Well, in the movies, I think he's a good supporting character, but on TV, that's the only way you could have Banner really lead a show. And it's a perfect setup for wandering from town to town and everything. I love that. And Trigger, don't play dumb with me. I've seen Captain MKG made a moon base. Well, you see, Wesley, you being an admin means you can cheat all you want, so I can't stop you from doing anything. I have not been to the moon, personally. And so if Captain MKG did build a base on the moon, it was entirely on his prerogative. I hope to start working on the SOB David tomorrow night. If you like it, I could gift it to you as an olive branch between our two houses. I'll bet you would. Your green screen is flashing tonight. Yeah, it is. I'm trying to wonder why that is. That's kind of weird. I'm trying to see. You know, I don't know where that flicker is coming from. Marvel Disney probably found a loophole. They could probably make a solo Hulk. They can't make solo Hulk films, but they could do a solo Hulk series on Disney Plus. If that's the case, I'm down with it. Wesley says, typing one hand while flying is hard. Are you still flying? You see, you're probably attacking our base right now. And since I'm not in the game, I would have no idea. And Darren says, don't. Well, they're still nice glasses. What style are you getting? The ones I'm getting are very similar to these. They're not that different. You'll see them in a few weeks. Why is Kroger using SOB, son of a bitch, for their ship's prefix? It's not son of a bitch, Josh. SOB is for Ship of Bird. And just like all the Turtistani ships are TRD for Turtistani Republic Defense. So yeah. I want to see you and Bird in Bird versus in Star Trek Online. You know what? Honestly, I like Space Engineers a lot more than Star Trek Online. For one thing, you have a real sense of accomplishment when you manage to build a ship that works. I know that sounds stupid, but it's true. Bird can attest for it. He's been trying, and he tried, and he finally got something that would actually fly, and he didn't die in it. And you feel so good about that. And I've done that too. In fact, I lost a ship today, which is kind of sad. It was I was actually trying to, and that's why I was struggling to meet with Bird and Wesley during your live stream. And Mercer throws $2 in.
BIRDOPREY,
Fire in the sky.
And Mercer, thank you so much. The Pennyworth pilot was so good about DC's Alfred. I did not know about the Pennyworth show, but quite frankly, I don't want to see a show about Alfred. I want to see a show about Batman. Why would I want to watch an Alfred show? Anyway. So I had a ship that, just a very basic little frigate that I was coming out to meet you guys with when you said you were coming to meet up. And unfortunately, I didn't realize how close you were to the planet, and I got within the within the gravitational pull of the planet, and it's an entirely ion-based ship, which means as soon as the planet started pulling on it, it was over. So I abandoned ship, and that's why I flew to you guys without a ship. But yeah, it was the worker bee. It's gone, unfortunately, but it's not a huge loss. Cinnabon says, I'm still at word with the turds. They rejected my peace offer. Oh, did you send a peace officer, Cinnabon? If you did, I didn't even see it. So I will be more than happy to accept that. SOB Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Monroe, Madison, Adams, and Jackson so far. Yes. But, Bird, have you built a warship? Because you know what, Bird? And here's the thing, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure that bird of prey that whoever built for you is awesome. The Lagmore is awesome. But I want to fight you, Bird, in a ship you build. But, and let's see. I have a Jedi's patience. Still would like it if you hurried up with things. I know. Captain KG put a YouTube video of it. No cheating. Of what? And let's see. KG313 says, cool. I will look into that. I'm not sure which. Oh, it's talking about the game. I think Hulk as a lead doesn't fit in the standard movie formula. He's a character that can be a hero 1 second and a menace the next. Yeah, and that's why as a TV show, I think it works better. Only question now is who's playing Banner. I wouldn't expect Ruffalo to want to do a TV show when he's making movies. Well, I don't know. I would like to see it be Ruffalo. I don't think they should recast. Because, I know that the other shows, like the Loki show and the WandaVision show and the Hawkeye show, they're all starring Jeremy Renner, he's going to be on a TV show. So why not? The Kurogans are pirates making everything disappear. They are. Antreger and the Epic Beard was at war with Kuroga. They had not accepted the treaty and the guns auto shoot. Yeah, you sent the treaty offer after you boarded their ship. So don't lie, Bird. And in fact, that's why Epic was pissed at you, because he logged in to find a destroyed ship and a peace offer. So yeah, don't be lying. There's Mercer's $2 super chat. Thanks again about the Pennyworth pilot. Chris saying R.I.P. the worker bee. Yes, it is gone, but that's all right. Darren says, or Renegade saying a CGI Bill Bixby to who would star. I still think Ruffalo would do it. 11 more days till WoW Classic. I've been on the character creation screen, starting my dwarf priest, waiting to play a real MMO. Well, very cool. Kapla says RMP. Darren says, not even dignify that with a response to the Renegade. Oh, the CG Bill Bixby. All right. Alfred is his 20s, like a James Bond type character, only with more humility. But you see, I don't care about Alfred. You know what? Alfred tells his war stories to Bruce. That's fun. Watching just an average, ordinary human do cool stuff because he's one day going to be Bruce Wayne's butler, I don't find that exciting. Especially since he can't die because he'll be Bruce Wayne's butler in 40 years or whatever. Epic says, peace treaty offered while I'm offline doesn't count. BIRDOPREY never gave me a chance to reply before auto guns. Exactly. I know how you feel, Antreger. My scout crash landed on the planet. Yeah, it sucks. If you get too close, if you have an ion-based ship and you get too close to a planet in this game, you are dead. And so, yeah. M says, Romulans rule for some reason. Then Kuroga destroyed our research station on the Butte, again, unprovoked. Yep. Well, that's how Kuroga is. I guess that was, yeah, exactly. It says, with that auto guns too, yeah. Kuroga has a lot of accidents where people end up, and equipment end up gone. Darren says, I do disagree the Hulk can make a good movie. I thought the 2008 film was pretty good. I just don't like what they did with the character in Endgame. Well, I didn't hate the 2008 film. I'm just saying that Hulk lends itself better to a TV series than a film series. And not the 2008 film was perfectly fine, but the 2008 film really felt like an extended episode of the old Bill Bixby show. Say until you get what you want. Okay. Mercer says, I think he's more interesting than James Bond. Oh, and we know James Bond ain't dying. Well, that's true too, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm not... Alfred is an interesting character in the Batman world. I don't find Alfred compelling enough to lead his own show. That's just me. That's just me. But if you want to watch it, that's great. But to me, watching that is like, hey, you know what else I don't want to watch? Jarvis, the show. Right? I don't care. I don't want to watch, trying to think of other side characters, but the just when you have, Betty Ross, the show, I don't care. Let's see. The comparison is not even right. Well, you're the one that compared it to James Bond, but I don't know. I'm just saying Alfred is not a main character. He's just not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the shows that are around big characters, with one exception of the first season of Gotham. Well, I do think the first season of Gotham was pretty good, but the problem with Gotham is that they ran out of ideas really fast, and they started just digging up every Batman villain and fully developing the villains when Bruce Wayne is a freaking tween. I'm sorry. That's stupid. So basically what this show is establishing right now is that the Batman that we know and love is actually this perfectly fit guy in his prime beating up old people. That's what Batman is, according to the Gotham TV show. It is a man in his absolute prime beating the crap out of old men. Way to go. The fact that a character is interesting on its own, not any Batman Easter egg. Well, if you, again, Mercer, if it's your thing, that's great. To me, it's just not a show that interests me. Only peace officer I would ever send an enemy is unconditional surrender or threat of total annihilation if refused. That seems reasonable. Let's see. Renegade says, yeah, I felt they missed a movie about the Hulk in Endgame. Yeah, well, the problem with Endgame is I know that, the movies are 3 hours long as it stands. And so to tell the story of how Bruce merged his personality into the Hulk, while that could have made an interesting side story in itself, you could probably spend about a good 20, 30 minutes of the film on that, and it would have been really good. But there was so much other stuff, they had to decide,
Hello, world.
what to do.
BIRDOPREY 5.
And Alfred... Alfred donates $1. Thank you, Alfred.
Shooting Mr. Scott.
Even though I said you're not that interesting a character, you still threw a buck to me, and I appreciate that. That shows me one thing about you, Alfred. You've got class. So, yeah. And the production design is stellar. I believe you, because, I really like... I think Gotham was well done as far as production design overall. I just think the show got old real fast, and that's the problem with almost all of the DC shows. So I'm hoping Disney doesn't fall into the same trap when they start Disney Plus. And Bird is saying, research station my butt. Now you see, and Epic is saying, yeah, they were scanning for War on the Beach, and I can vouch for that. Epic and I were, I know that the Epic he's simply a prospector. He's looking for rare minerals and stuff, waiting for the economy patch to come to the game so that he can sell them. That's his whole goal, and we're ready to be his customers. And so, Bird, for you to just take him out like that is, this wanton aggression from Kuroga is just uncalled for. And that's why, we, the Turdistantes, have to rise and defend the independent states, such as the Epic ones. Life with Matthew says, I need a Hulk movie instead of a Miss Marvel movie. Would have been interesting. Look at what's been, an interesting look at what's been was going post-snap. I think that could be an interesting movie. Darren says, hey, Trick, I think they should have gone with the Gamma Bomb origin and gone with a more articulate Hulk, like the gray version, even just the classic green version from the comics. Well, at least, they kind of retcon that, Darren. Not the Gamma Bomb, obviously, but they notice in Endgame, one thing I actually kind of liked, and it's very rare for me to appreciate a retcon, but there was a retcon in Endgame that I really liked, which is when they went back to 2012 to the Battle of New York, and they got in the elevator, and Hulk was pissed off and talking about how much he hates the stairs. That was classic Hulk right there. And even in the original Avengers, all we got out of him was that puny god line. And so I thought it was cool that they kind of established, no, Hulk could talk And it wasn't just the Hulk smash and puny god lines. Hulk was actually able to have a conversation with people. So I actually like that. But the gamma bomb, yeah, they went with the origin that was used in the Bill Bixby show, but I don't think it makes that big a difference because it's not like what's his name? Was it Rick or whatever his name is? The dude that was Bruce's sidekick that he saved. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name, but you know what I'm talking about. But since he wasn't in either the series or the movie or any of the Avengers movies, doesn't really matter. In the words of our resident crazy man, MCU Aunt May naked now. Make it happen. Well, I can't make that happen. Sorry. The janitor that cleaned the Death Star toilets, a Star Wars story. That is coming soon, yes. And X is in the house, says Herman Schmeckelbeck, fear the Schmeck. Okay. The tradition of greeting my nation would be surrender or you will be destroyed. The traditional greeting of my nation. Gotcha. Who's the Marvel equal to the Joker, and who is the Marvel Joker's foil? Well, I don't think that Marvel really has a proper equal to the Joker as far as a non-powered, absolutely crazy person who just wants to cause chaos. And I don't see that. But that would be like saying, who's DC's Doc Ock, right? Who's DC's Galactus? It doesn't work. Joker is iconic because Joker is Joker. And same thing with Galactus or Doctor Doom. DC doesn't have a Doctor Doom. Yes, they have megalomaniacs and stuff, but they don't have, not every character translates back and forth. Now, there are some characters that are blatant copies of others, but like Gladiator and it was a complete ripoff of Superman. But there is that. Epic Ones did sign a peace treaty with Kurdistan. No incidents. The peace has been beneficial for both nations. That is very true. It's only hinted till Ragnarok that involuntary Hulk is a savage beast. Volunteer Hulk have more control and smarts. Yes. Says, I honestly don't mind retcons, but only well thought out retcons that make total sense and don't feel cheap. I'll give you that, but that's the problem. That is a very rare thing. And with the Hulk, it makes sense. It's not that Hulk couldn't talk. We just didn't happen to see him talk. And let's see. Sci-Fi Sith says to Epic Beard, peace is only preparation time for the next conflict. Depends on how honest the people are. Kurogans, of course, would feel that way. I think a high-quality streaming Hulk show where he does what he does in the comics, i.e. fight other monsters, would be a great show if everything else about it was great. I agree. I think that it could be really good. And I'm looking for, I will tell you, I will get Disney Plus the day it's available. I can't wait. Schmeckelbeck 2020. Hey, why not? Well, because Schmeckelbeck is evil. Endgame Hulk should have just jumped off the Stark Tower instead of taking the stairs. It's not like he couldn't have done that. Probably true, but he's also not that brilliant. And they told him to take the stairs. He was like, oh, I'll take the stairs. And he was pissed about it. So maybe he probably just wasn't thinking. So what if I find where you guys are hiding? You may, for all I know, Wesley, you've already found where our base is. And that's up to you, Wesley. I mean, if you attack, you attack. And you take us out, and then we rebuild somewhere else, like we already have when Cinnabon took out our initial asteroid base that we built. And we spent a lot of time building that base. Cinnabon completely destroyed it, so we had to move on. Take a moment, breathe, and take a zip of that fine JD, age 20 years, whiskey canteen you have under the desk. Well, I don't have any JD, age 20 years, under the desk. I wish I did. That would be awesome. I do have some Glenfiddich and stuff over there, but unfortunately I don't have a glass with me right now that would be appropriate for that. But thank you, RMP. I appreciate the thought. Krister Carlson, I don't know that I've seen you before, so if not, welcome, Krister. Batman has the Joker, but what enemy has Batwoman? Toxic masculinity and the patriarchy. That's Batwoman's enemy. Andrew, is Iron Man the Marvel vision of DC's Batman? Well, not really. I mean, they have certain similarities in their character in that they're both billionaires. They basically just finance all this stuff. They're both very intelligent. But Tony Stark is not a physically gifted person like Bruce Wayne is, right? So Tony Stark, without his Iron Man armor, is not a complete and total badass. Whereas Bruce Wayne is. And Kronos donated
world.
$1.
It's
Thank you.
Birdopray 5 cup loss.
And once number 20, you got it, Kronos.
Good shooting, Mr. Scott.
Anal na trach, was betad, doch jel den Weg.
Ariel Natris Oris Bazi Bedhead Duchel Dementa. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yes, truly a classic. But what I was saying, so I mean, while Iron Man and or Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne have certain similarities, they're both orphans, they're both very rich and all that. Besides that, they're very different characters. Batman does use tech, but not at the level that Iron Man does. Iron Man does use detective skills, but not at the level that Batman does. So, they are very different characters. See, the thing everybody gets wrong about Classical said he wasn't stupid, just inarticulate, like a Packlid. That's how he often beat his foes. They kept underestimating him. That's true. Chief Cook says, hey guys, I'm still laughing about Bird crying video. What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about.
We got it. Ah, shit. Okay, now we need to possibly use the rockets. No. Yes. Come on. No. Come on. No. Oh, God damn it. Wait, we can do it. Oh. Why do you hate me?
Yes, he says this is laughing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it sounds really like you're laughing. Oh, man. My pitch, Star Trek Mudd and Jones tell their adventures of Harry Mudd and Cyrano Jones. I serve as head writer and showrunner. Do you have more faith in my show or Kurtzman on his? I would have more faith on your show, but I gotta say, I'm not totally on board with the concept. While I like Harry Mudd and Cyrano Jones, they would end up using the Wilson Rain version of Harry Mudd, and who knows who they'd cast as Cyrano Jones. Probably a woman. Let's see. Moon Knight is like Batman, just crazy. Well, Moon Knight is completely nuts. Bruce Wayne and Oliver Queen are basically the same person. That's very true. And I believe Green Arrow actually started in a separate company than DC, and so they kind of, yeah. And then they were merged together, and that's why they're because Green Arrow was originally just a ripoff. Marvel actually has their own versions of DC's Justice League, most notably the Squadron Supreme and the Shi'ar Imperial Guard. Yes, but they're not like their A-list characters. That's kind of what like I mentioned Gladiator earlier as being a direct ripoff of Superman, but most people have no clue who Gladiator is. What? Says RMP. And Chief Cook says, he's still in denial about it. Yeah, Bird thinks he's laughing there. What about the Lady of the Lake? I didn't see anything about the Lady of the Lake, but okay. Kronos says it's called Laughing. Yes. Darren says, Enter, I used to want Paramount to do a series about Captain I can't pronounce it. From the TNG episode, The Outrageous Okona. But these days, not so much. I don't even remember that episode, so I'm not sure. I was there. He was crying when it happened. Absolutely. Who wanted the Bird sex tape? I don't need to hear bird porn. Okay. I hear birds' tears are toxic. That is very true. Chief says that's crying to me. Absolutely, that is crying. I gave a name to a ship. It would be Bacchus, the god of joy, intoxication, and inebriation. Well, there you go. That's a good ship. Yeah, Marvel effed up Moon Knight bad. Yeah, wait, it's too bad. I wouldn't mind seeing Moon Knight in the MCU, but yeah. And Chief Cook says, Kronos, you missed the part. He cannot stop. Yeah, the bird crying on his stream, that was so beautiful. It was just wonderful. And I know Bird feels horrible about, being such a treacherous dog and having no honor. In fact, I would not be surprised at all if I logged into Space Engineers right now to find that our base is completely destroyed because they were lying and cheating and all that. So that's just the way that the Krogans are. Would you consider doing some Knight Rider episode discussions? That might be fun eventually, but I gotta get caught up. I owe you guys so many different videos that I have not gotten to yet. So that's not a bad idea, Mark, but it's something I'm gonna have to keep on the back burner for right now. Green Arrow has always been a DC character. I don't know why I was thinking that, Darren. Must be a different character than that I'm thinking of. I'm not 100% sure. So I do want to show, because I know I've said that the Goliath is under construction. That is true. So I'm going to show you guys where I'm at with it. There's something that Thomas built that I do want to show you guys as well that I think is pretty cool. Assuming again that the evil Krogans haven't shown up and destroyed everything that we have. So while that is loading, actually, let me see if I can get. We need the camera on, and of course everybody wants the anti-cam. There we go. And so Green Archer, yes. Bill Campbell was going to play Will Riker, and he lost to
Hello world,
Flakes.
it's Frakes.
I didn't know that. There goes Bird.
Good shooting, Mr. Scott.
And RMP throws a couple of euros in. Thank you, RMP. And says, number 23, you got it, my friend. Ah, yes, the classics. Do you agree with Lore Reloaded that the Klingon Empire would fall into a civil war after the Dominion War? I don't remember when Lore said that. However, the Klingons seem like they're always on the verge of civil war because of the house system and the fact that they tend to openly fight each other. So I guess you would have to define what a Klingon civil war would actually look like that's not just the normal day for the Klingons. Where's our Herman Schmeckelbeck video? That guy's got to do. What has the guy got to do to get a Herman Schmeckelbeck video? Well, I don't know. I guess find me some evidence that Herman Schmeckelbeck actually exists. All right, so we'll let's take a look here and see if the base is in ruins or not. So far, everything looks like it's still in one piece. And so we come up here. All right. So, there's the pack rat, so you guys can see, we got a couple of ships here. There's the pack rat. This is a beautiful ship, by the way. Completely built by Chris. This is our primary mining vessel. It's a really nice ship. You can see it is a pretty serious mining ship. And so, very, very cool. And let's see, we'll go up this way. I'll make sure we keep certain things out of view. And let's see. Howdy hi! After Dark just had a live stream where they premiered a skit they made based on an AI Batman script. Very funny. I hadn't. Oh, that sounds like it could be fun. I haven't checked it out yet. They said it'll be in its own video soon. Cool. I'll look for that. I'll look forward to that. Doubts about the Schmeckleback unsubbed. Well, sorry. What can I say? Martok is a real leader and a warrior and not a corrupt politician that ruled the empire. That's true. But that's the thing. Yeah, and I realized I didn't have the game up. Sorry, guys. But that's actually good because there was something on the screen that I was worried about you guys seeing. So here is the Goliath under construction. As you can see, there are... Whoa, had a lag spike there. So we are working on it. But it's still got quite a ways to go. It's just really getting started. But the Goliath is definitely under construction. And once the Goliath is done, I would love to have a sparring match with Wesley's cute little ship. I can't quit your channel. I'm addicted to number 23. Sorry, I'm so sorry, and sorry about that, guys. As far as forgetting to put the game on screen there while I was buzzing around, but so the Goliath is of course is a proudly Kurdistani ship, and look at that beautiful Kurdistan Republic flag on the Goliath. Absolutely gorgeous. And RMP says Goliath is pretty original. Yeah, and the design of the Goliath is 100% mine. So and yeah, it's pretty nice. And Bird's trying to get Wesley to triangulate. You see, now Bird can't even do his own dirty work to try and figure out where I am. He's trying to get Wesley to figure out where I am. Well, Wesley's an admin. If he wanted to find me, I'm sure he has some backdoor way that he could just see where my base is and go there. Perhaps you could invite Bird onto your ship when it's completed. Well, this ship is a heavy escort vessel. It doesn't have anywhere for Bird to go inside the ship, and no, he would not be allowed on board. How do you get an asteroid? How do you get an asteroid in orbit? Well, they're already there. Kronos salutes. It kind of looks like the Empire State Building with rockets and weapons strapped to it. That's not too far off. Do you want a Star Trek TV show that takes place in the 25th century on a hybrid explorer warship that got accidentally transported to another galaxy, possibly the Andromeda Galaxy? Sci-fi? No, I don't. You know what I think they should do, honestly, with Star Trek right now is stop trying to reinvent the wheel and just just make a show about the Enterprise E or F or whatever, all new crew, and just, you know, basically do a third generation of the Enterprise, and so that and instead of all this crap where they're trying to be different and original and making the franchise die for it. Wow, that Kurdistan flag is something to see. It's like a major award. Well, and that flag was created by Acid Designs, a good friend of the channel, and it is absolutely a beautiful flag. I do love that flag. And let's see. TRD looks like the Cali State flag. Hidden meaning? Nope, not that I know of. And RMP says my KB is murdering me. I'm not sure what KB means, but I hope you're all right. That's an escort vessel. An escort for what? A Dyson sphere? Well, I couldn't show you what it's going to escort. The ship name would be the USS Sovereign. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about on your concept show. I mean, here's the thing. I think trapping a ship in another galaxy or something is just a reskin of Voyager. That's not a good idea. Instead, let's honestly, if you were going to ask me to produce a Star Trek show and produce a pitch, I would probably do something along the lines of a small ship. I can't remember the name of the class, but like the one that Captain Ransom had in Voyager, a small underpowered ship. And Bones
Hello
donates
world,
about,
it's BIRDOPREY 5 Cup Lost.
just a moment, Captain, sir. I'll explain what happened. Your revered Admiral Flora invoked a little-known, seldom-used reserved activation clause. In simpler terms, they drafted me. They didn't. This was you. This was your idea, wasn't it? You know, so yeah, I love Dr. McCoy's entrance in Star Trek: The Motion Picture was actually a really good moment. But anyway, you take a small ship, the Nova class. Thank you, Renegade. So you take like a little Nova class ship or something like that. That's small, and just follow them on their missions, right? More along the lines of the original Star Trek. You don't need to make the ships bigger and bigger and bigger and badder and badder and badder. I don't want it. And so, does Turnistan have an anthem? Has not been recorded yet. Keyboard. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what you meant, RP. What should they do with Star Trek right now? Writers who understand and love Trek canon, and maybe the spinning Spock for the show's opening credits. Yeah, well, that's the thing. If we get writers that understand Trek, then that's all we really need. And good writers, obviously. Part of what makes Trek is keeping Earth in the game. It's about the human condition. Exactly, and that's a problem, Mercer. Thank you for pointing that out, by the way. That is a problem with more modern Trek, starting with Star Trek 2009 and continuing through these Kurtzman shows, is that they're trying to get further and further away from a human-centric show. And there are some fans that, oh, we want a Klingon show, we want a Romulan. No, you don't. You really don't. Because I will tell you right now that a Klingon show, while it could be interesting, is only going to appeal to the most diehard of Star Trek fans. And that's only if they do it well. Same thing with a Romulan show or a Ferengi show or whatever. Or taking, and again, I'm not dissing you, but I gotta, like when you were talking about the, well, I think it was you that was talking about the Cyrano Jones and Harry Mudd thing. But only diehards are going to even know who they are and care about that. I don't think that that's the way to go right now. You want to encapsulate the classic Trek idea of an optimistic future for humanity, number one. This is not Star Wars. We don't see some weird big-headed alien in every corner of every ship. And in fact, that's something that I did not like about Discovery, among other things, the fact that they had so many damn aliens all over the place. I don't care. You're not going to impress me by throwing lots of aliens. You know how many aliens were a regular part of the original Star Trek? 1. Spock. That's it. And it was pretty well established that 99% of the people who served in Starfleet were human.
Hello world, it's BIRDOPREY 5 Cup Lost.
Thank you, RP. Says Zephyr Cochran, let's rock and roll. And wants number 23, of course. All right, and let's see. Oh, I just realized stupid thing is frozen. Hello? There. I'm an idiot. Andrew, a Star Trek actor died today. The lady who played B'Etor. I thought it was Lursa. Or did B'Etor die, like, really, like, a couple of days after Lursa did? Because if so, that's a weird coincidence. In all the universe, 3 million galaxies like this, and all that, and perhaps more. Only one of each of us.
Hello, world. It's BIRDOPREY. Cup lost.
And Bones donates another $1 and says, well, Jim. And even though I don't have it on the screen,
Good shooting, Mr.
I'll say, well, Jim, I hear Chappell's an MD now. Well, I'm going to need a top nurse, not a doctor who argue every little diagnosis with me. And they probably redesigned the whole sick bay, too. I know engineers, they love to change things. I don't know if that's exactly what you put in there, but thank you, Bones, for the $1. I do appreciate it. Some peeps don't like men or man in words these days. That's very true, and that's why, but we want to take it a step further around here and make sure that we're not offending anybody, and that's why on our server for space engineers, you are never to refer to a ship's cockpit. It is a genital pit. Please, we need to be gender neutral, people. So I guess you wouldn't like my show, Star Trek Bonk Bonk on the Head. Oh, man. Oh, that hurt. That hurt right there. Give Disco the shatty boot. Yes. And I would love a Klingon show. I think the reason why Trekkies don't want a Klingon show is because Klingons are super violent and Trekkies don't want that. No, you know what, Daniels? But here's the thing. I think that a lot of Trekkies would like a Klingon show, but, you know, and I'll be completely fair, most Trekkies don't realize that the Klingons started out very differently than the Klingons that we have in the next-gen era. They were not honorable and all that, but they were more like pirates, but whatever. But the thing is that if you make a show about an alien culture, it is going to fail. I just guaranteed. You have to make a show that has characters that your audience can identify with. And it's one thing, you know, it's not about the race or gender of the main character, although that can have a detrimental effect sometimes depending on what you're going for. What we're talking about here is if you have all the characters have these bumpy heads, or God forbid you do the Kling orcs from STD, there's no one there to identify with, and guess what? People tune out. That's why movies like The Dark Crystal don't make a ton of money at the box office, because there's no one to identify with in that movie. It's a good movie, but it's not a readily identifiable film. STD had to have a diverse crew so they would not insult people that identify as aliens. Yeah. And Raven is saying disco, disco, disco for reasons. RMP, I don't want a triple show. I just like watching how Ed Trigger responds to my goofy comments. I see how you are, because thank you for now I'm going to ignore you. Yes, I saw, and I'm sorry, Mercer, I did not mean to ignore you there. I linked the Star Trek Movie Challenge. Yes, you can see the movie trivia schmodown. It is linked in the chat above. And let's see. I'm cool with more aliens. Backgrounds as the crew since the Fed. I'm cool with more aliens. Backgrounds the crew since the Fed is multi-race organization. But yes, focus on the human condition. Orville pulls the balance off well. Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, you don't on the Orville, Bortus and Isaac are not the main characters, right? The main characters are all human. And they're there. And same thing. I can't remember the replacement for the super strong chick. I can't remember her name, but most of them are human, and the stories tend to revolve around that. And I'm okay with that. Is there not a man or men in? There's not a man or men in the word genital pit. Exactly. That's why we're using it. Damn it, Jim! I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer. Well, that's true if you're working on a Horta. Admiral Anti-Trekker, this is your opponent speaking. I will not surrender. It is you. Yes, Krug. It is not I who will surrender, it is you. The Federation, in creating an ultimate weapon, has become a gang of intergalactic criminals. Well, the Star Trek Voyager TV show setting was way more excited and interesting to me instead of all the preaching moral high ground and arrogant like Star Trek Next Gen. Well, I will say this. The arrogant preaching moral high ground stuff from Star Trek The Next Generation was horrible. I did not like that at all. I thought that was horrible. And that, I think, is the only thing that Star Trek Discovery thinks is Star Trek. About all the, was the worst of it. But the Voyager setting could have worked. It absolutely could have worked, but it didn't work. Why? Because they didn't know how, they couldn't, I don't know what it was, but they just couldn't have an interesting character dynamic on that show, even though they had a perfect setup for it. And all they had to do was, I mean, they already kind of had a prototype for it on Deep Space Nine. I don't know why that, they blew it. Raven says, remember Alien Nation? Failed. Yep. I thought that was Kirk, not Anti-Trekker. Well, Krug was an enemy of mine too. Man and women teams are being changed to Mon and One. Don't even get me started on that. I think a series following Spock's life like Smallville did with Superman would work well. I don't. And again, it's because you got to make it about the human condition. You make it about the planet Vulcan and people will tune out. I'm sorry. It's not... Obviously, I like Spock, and I think I would watch the show absolutely. And if it was well done, I would enjoy the crap out of it. But I don't think that's the way to revive Star Trek right now. The way to revive Star Trek is by producing classic-style Star Trek. When I say classic style, it doesn't have to be TOS style. I mean, but you have to make it about the human condition and an optimistic view of the future, not this bleak and gritty dribble that they're putting out that's like, one half of an inch away from being Star Wars. Do you believe, and Chris is saying attack incoming. Great. Well, I'm not even in the game right now. Are we really under attack? That sucks. So, which makes sense. And the Krogans are, they like to attack people that are basically defenseless. That's the only way they can play. So let's get back in the game and see how bad it looks. I'm sure this will be a horrible, horrible thing. Unless, of course, Chris is lying. But we'll find out in a moment. But I don't think Chris would lie because Chris is a Turtistani. Someone needs to start a Shave the Tribbles charity. That would be weird. Cassandra, here's a serious question. What would you think about taking the original scripts of TOS and just redoing with new actors and modern effects? I could see how that could be cool, but again, the biggest problem you would run into is that, well, if you want to see the original stories, how about you just watch the original series? And they even, so I don't see how that would work. And I'm trying to get into the game, but sometimes, I don't know what this game is with the cryopods. Sometimes you can't get out of the pods for a minute after you log in. Krug was a Klingon terrorist, kind of reminds me of Bird. While Krug was worse than a Klingon terrorist, he was the person who ruined Klingons forever in Star Trek. And don't get me wrong, I think Christopher Lloyd did a great job as Krug, but I did not like what they did to Klingons in Star Trek 3. You Klingon bastard, you killed my son. Yeah, that was actually, people say William Shatner can't act. I'm sorry, when he fell down, that was really good. That was actually really good. All right, so let's take a look at how bad is the... Now, Chris, were you being serious about there's an attack, or were you just messing around with me? And Mark is saying no, please, no. I'm not sure why you're saying no, please, no. I don't see any sign of attack. So, Chris, you need to tell me what's going on here. Yeah, I don't see anything. All right, so I'm waiting to hear from Chris to see what's going on. Let's see. And unfortunately, too many younger people are special effects snobs. Well, and that's, and the problem is too many producers think that special effects are what sells a show. Captain, it's not necessary to remind you that the importance of Federation of Sherman's Paddle, the key to our winning this planet is the grain quattro triticale. The shipment of it must be protected. Effective immediately, you will render any aid and assistance which Undersecretary Barris may require. The safety of the grain and the project is your responsibility. Starfleet out. Yes, that and Kirk. Well, that's just lovely. Yes. That's the thing I like Discovery, because it's more real world, less Roddenberry, more bleak, dark action adventure. In fact, back in the 90s when I was forced to watch TNG, I wanted Trek to be like that. Well, here's the thing, Daniels. And oh yeah, it looks like we are under attack. Yep, the Lagmore is attacking. Great. Well, we're screwed. It's over. So have fun with that. We'll sit here and watch the death come from above. Congratulations, Wesley. You cheated us out of a game again. Or are you going to just not bother to it? Oh, I know what you're going to do. You're going to sit there and hang out at a great distance so that you can try to pick us off from a long ways off. I get it. I don't even know. You see, the problem is I don't know how to control any of this. So... I don't have a clue as to what I'm doing. I know there's a way to take control of a turret, but I don't know how. Let's see. Custom data, shoot once. I don't know. Did that do anything? Probably not. So I can't tell what's going on out there. Jump into a turret. I don't know how. That's the thing. You're saying jump into the turret. I don't play this game enough to know how to do any of this crap. And all of us and that's what you guys don't understand. I know you guys were like trying to help out Bird and everything and acting like we're a bunch of experts. We're not. We don't know what the hell we're doing. We're just trying to play the game like you guys. But I have no idea. I go in here. What do? Build a chair and select a gun. Well, great. That's like easy enough to do when you're under attack. What is Wesley even doing out there? But it doesn't matter. You guys found us, so we're screwed. There's nothing we can do. So I'm not going to bother with, Funny how Kuro can only attack us or find us with administrator's help. Yeah. And that's why, and Wesley, and I know you're an honest guy, Wesley, but here's the thing. It looks awful suspicious that you and Cinnabon are the only ones that can manage to attack us. And you guys are the admins on the server. You see what I'm saying? But yeah. It was a trap to get you on by Bird. Yeah. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to actually, it doesn't really matter. Let's see. So they found us to destroy one of our ships, yeah. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, Wesley and Bird are there. So that's what they were talking about in secret. Ooh, aren't they clever, right? So you guys are just going to sit there out of range, and so we'll just log out, and then you can't attack us. So, and let's see. Chris says, what's the point? The base is finished. Well, they can't, here's the, I don't know if you're listening to the stream right now, Chris, but it doesn't matter. If they attack while we're logged out, then they violated the treaty. And they might as well just show that they're cheaters. So, anyway, let's see. In your Star Trek show, would you make funny or show how terrifying the far left is today, or very? I would actually, I don't know, I would play with it a little bit. And so, I'm Captain Kirk. I'm Captain Kirk. And so, oh, now someone's getting a little close. Oh, what are they, leaving? Yeah, that's true. Kuroga has attacked us when we were offline before, because they'll just claim that, oh, our weapons did it automatically. We couldn't do it. Look at your space in your sector. Believe it. Use the force. Let go. Yeah, I don't even have a weapon on me. That's the actual. Because I suck at this game so bad. So what are you guys even doing? You gonna destroy the Goliath now? Is that what you're doing? So now you're leaving? Okay. So let's see. So I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Edric, do you think that the pre-flood civilization had a space race? Nope.
Hello, world. It's
And Alexander's in the house. Throws $2 into the chat. Thank you. It says, MCU have made naked now. Of course you do, Alexander. Of course.
Good shooting, Mr. Scott.
All right, so here's the thing. Chris, what we're going to do, since they're apparently aborting this attack, we're going to move to our another, let's see. And Vile Mike saying, you got no ships to defend. I've told you we don't. You know, we don't. We do not have offensive capability. We are not an aggressive group. So, yeah. You know, and the Goliath was to be our first major warship, but you guys, you know, we can't even get that built. So, we're, you know, we have no edge in this game whatsoever. We suck at this game, and we know it. Anyway. Don't tell you what I want. I want to see T'Pol naked, says Kronos. Yeah, that would be better in my humble opinion. You're too trusting, says Kronos. I am. That's the problem. I should have known that the whole thing today was just to try so they could track me down and see where I was going. But, you know, c'est la vie. It's just a game. And Bird cheats because he's Bird. I think there's a lot of spies in this chat, Antchecker. They attack you to see your face in the stream. I think there's a lot of spies in this chat. They attack you to see your face in the stream. Yeah, but you know, what can I do? There's, you know, I read the last trade paperback of The Walking Dead. How was it? I don't really care about that, but yeah. I think I found the problem with your strategy. You need guns that actually fire. Well, no, Kronos, here's the thing. They weren't in range of our guns. And I watched them do this before. What they do, and this is what Wesley... Because, see, Wesley and Cinnabon, again, I'm not knocking you guys because you guys know the game. And so, and I didn't know this until I saw them do it. I had no idea that you could fire the guns further than the guns will automatically fire, which means that all you have to do, if you know where the enemy base is, you can easily take them out by just staying out of range and manually firing. And so, and there's literally nothing we could do because the game deleted all of our base defenses. And don't even know why that happened. That's a problem with the game itself, is that apparently a bunch of stuff, like we had orbiting satellites, they were well within the range of our satellite perimeter, and then the entire satellite perimeter just disappeared. And so now they can attack our base, and there's nothing we can do to defend ourselves because all of our defenses mysteriously disappeared from the game. And I'm not pointing the finger at anybody. I'm not suggesting somebody cheated or anything. It just, because a lot of people had stuff disappear from the game. I don't know why that is, but in our case, it just happened to take out every possible defense that we have. Very clever, Garth. That's what I was going to say. Spock, IUC, I'm your captain. Spock, IUC, I think it's can't you see I'm your captain. Captain Kirk, I presume. Yes. Park an asteroid over Kuroga with a couple of engines strapped to it when they attack a big rock drops from above. Except you can't do that. You can't move asteroids in the game. Chris says we got sold out by a trader. Did we? Well, that figures. Wesley says I spent 3 hours looking for you. Really? Wow, 3 whole hours, Wesley. You spent 3 whole hours searching the entire solar system and just happened to find us. Okay. I will show you where the cowards are hiding. 0.44 kilometers directly behind your first base, very close to the Pyramid Racetrack. I never saw the Pyramid Racetrack, Commander Shutter. And you're a Kurogan. Why would I trust you? Besides, even if we did know where you were, we couldn't attack. I told you, we don't have anything. We've been trying to rebuild after Cinnabon took out our base. And we just got to where we could start building ships, and now it looks like we're going to lose our base again, so we're going to have to move. So, BIRDOPREY says this was a warning from Kuroga. And now Wesley's trying. Don't tell me you got lucky, Wesley. Please don't bother. And I'm not mad, but don't tell me you got lucky. Corona says it's, and the problem is, Wesley, and yeah, it's a tough thing for, you know, and this is always a tough thing when you're doing a moderated game or a moderated game like this, is that the moderators want to play, and if the moderators play and they win, everybody looks at the moderators and say, well, you're the moderators. You know, you and Cinnabon know the game better than anybody else in the game, as far as I know. Now, I know there's a couple of independent people like Vile Mike and stuff, and I don't know how much he knows about the game. But I do know that as far as the Turdistanis, we're all learning. And so, you know, Bird has people that know the game helping him. We don't. So that's the problem. And so every time, and this is, you know, and it's, you know, it's just the way the game works. But when we're going to have to relocate and try to do it again. And hopefully next
Hello
third time's
world, it's
charm.
BIRDOPREY.
Fire in the sky. Good shooting,
And Alexander throws $2 in. Do a video explaining how barbed wire was a masterpiece. I would if barbed wire was a masterpiece, but it's not. That's the problem. I lost Vegas Kuroga with the game removing trash. I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not blaming you, Wesley. I know that you didn't like do something intentionally to take out our defenses. It's just that all our defenses are gone, and nothing we can do about it. Bird says, not my fault, Handtracker. I didn't know how to manually control the ship. I knew how to control the guns manually since prior to the server wipe. Well, if you knew how to control the guns manually, then it is your fault that you used your guns. Right? Because you know how to control the guns, right? Wesley, did you happen to find Steve in space? Good question. Daniel says, what's Kuroga? Kuroga is an evil empire run by BIRDOPREY 5. Chris says, this is a warning from the admins. The Kurogans had nothing to do with it. Kuroga could build a sandcastle by themselves. Yeah. Are you playing creator mode or survival? It's completely survival, Firetail. Our server is completely survival. Andrew, I thought you were a better strategist than what you're putting out there. Well, Mr. Londell, actually, the thing is that if I'm not a bad strategist, but I have to know the game. And and I don't know the game that well, and I don't have enough time to just play the game 24/7. Well, I suppose I could, but I'd get even less done than I'm getting done. But yeah, compassion, the one thing no machine's ever had. Maybe that's the one thing that keeps men ahead of them. Care to debate that, Spock? No, Doctor. I've only been playing Space Engineers 3 weeks. Everybody knows it better than me. Well, I don't know, Epic. I don't know how well you knew it because you're independent. So, preying on the weak, not cool. Well, you know, and that's why, like, when I escaped from BIRDOPREY earlier today, and he was trying to say how horrible I was, you can see this is how the Kurogans play. You know, the Kurogans have got battleships and all this stuff. We don't have a single offensive ship. And we're trying to build one, but now that construction is going to get aborted because we have to move. We can't stay where we're at. Again, we have to move, which sucks because I really like this. Oh, and that reminds me. So since it's going to get destroyed anyway, I'll show you guys. Hopefully they haven't already destroyed the base. But I was going to show you something that Thomas Potts built this in the game, and it's really, really cool. And got to wait for the game to finish. All right, there we go. And yeah, you know what? I really should have sabotaged your ship when I had the chance, though, Bird. I didn't because I was trying to be nice, but I should have. All right, so yeah, just so you guys know, so since they already found the base, doesn't really matter. All right, so here is our base, whoa, in its entirety here. And These asteroids all around us all had satellites and sentry posts around it to take out anybody that approached the base. All that's gone. We also had smaller satellites that were orbiting in close to the base, all gone. They just disappeared. But in the meantime, over here, this is where Thomas was working on. This is the great throne room of Mrs. Antitrekker, our queen. So this is her throne room. At the top of these stairs is Mrs. Antitrekker's throne. Those LCD screens, we're going to have a giant picture of our queen on it. But now we're going to have to relocate and find another place, which sucks, but that's just what we got to do. And let's see. You remind me of the captain that got crushed in Starship Troopers? Okay. Let's see. If the base is still there, place engines on it and move it. You can't. You can't move a base. Not a base that's attached to an asteroid. Asteroids cannot be moved in the game. At least not that I know of. Maybe there's a way to do it, and I just haven't learned how to do it. But from what I've heard, there's no way to do it. Josh says, just got back in. Thank you, Comcast, for your impeccable service. Anyway, how you feeling? I feel like crap, but that's all right. And now I know that, unfortunately, our base we need to abandon. So, yeah, that sucks. Wow, they're going to destroy that evil Kurogans. Yeah, exactly. The Kurogans, you know, this is a shrine to our great queen, and the Kurogans want to destroy it. They have no honor. They attack without provocation. They murder people left and right. They're absolutely horrible. And no, nobody paid the admins off because the admins are Kurogans. That's the problem. But what can you do? Bird can't lead a bunch of androids to a picnic. Well, yeah, but yeah. Let's see. Let's see. I was referring to Bird having died by a door. I'm not sure what you mean. Real picture of her to finally see her, a cartoon version of her to hide her face. It'll be the cartoon version of her. So, yeah. I'm surprised you guys haven't, like, why didn't you just take a couple of pot shots at my ship while you were at it? Since it's completely useless. See, that's the thing. I'm halfway through building this thing, and it's completely useless now because there's no way I'm going to be able to finish building it. So that sucks, but yeah, and I really like these landing pads that you guys made. This was a really nice base. It really was, but unfortunately, it's got to go now. And let's see. But we can keep the pack rat at least. And what we'll have to do, Chris, is start building at another location. And unfortunately, we're just going to have to grind this thing down or just let the system delete it or whatever. Let's see. You can drill away the rock from your base and moving it via landing gear and lots of engines. Well, what would the point of that be, Commander? I mean, first of all, to drill the rock away would take days because this base is integrated into the asteroid. And then, you know, we couldn't move it that far, so yeah. Pink Ranger 90s show versus Unicron. Well, I've never seen the Pink Ranger 90s show, so I could not offer you an opinion about that, to be honest with you. Darth Maul says they sing songs about rape. You talking about the Kurogans? I'm sure they do. Make it a space station away from everyone and lined with weapons. Well, the problem is, like I was saying, Commander, is that you can't do that apparently, and so I don't know what to do because if you guys can attack from further out than the maximum range of the weapons, then as long as you know where the enemy base is, you win. There's no. That's it. Game over. As soon as you know where the enemy base is, all you got to do is stay out of range and blow them up. I saw you do it to our ground base. So, what's the point? So we need to build somewhere else. Didn't Bird die by closing a door once? Birds died a lot of embarrassing ways. Surely there are other experienced players. Why grind everything down? Why are you moving? Wesley, why do you think we're moving? You know where we are. You can destroy our base at your leisure. There is absolutely no reason we should stay here. You know, unless, you know, because the problem is, you know, we have no idea where Kuroga is. So, you know, that's why you know what, I suggested, and this is a problem, but, you know, and we'll talk about it real quick. Something I suggested early on, several weeks ago when we were getting things started, was to make a rule that every base and every ship had to have a transponder set to maximum so you would always know where everybody was. However, you guys all rejected that. We're not going to have any kind of open thing. So the rules of the game are simple. You find out where the other person is, you win. And so we have to move. We can't stay because you can't defend the base. If you have someone defending the base, they can shoot just as far. Wesley, if you attack the... What, are you going to be stupid and like show up at the base and then wait for one of us to start shooting at you? That doesn't make any sense. And I can't... And the Goliath, I'm not going to be able to finish that now because you're not going to let that happen. So it's over. We have to find another place. That's all it is. I'm not saying we're going to give up in the game, but we have to find another location because the way that you guys set up this server, if you know where, since everybody's hidden, if you know where the enemy is and you're at war with them, you just won the war. Just like I did, and I'm not even saying it's not all on you guys, because it's just like when I single-handedly took down Bird's entire base with nothing more than a rifle and a grinder. Because the base defenses are not, you know, just don't work like that. Now, if everybody knows where everybody is, that's different. Then you would see the ships coming, you would rally your troops, you would have battles, you would know where the enemy bases were, you would come up with strategies to attack, but we don't have any of that. And so that's just the way the game is. Wesley, destroy your base at his leisure? That doesn't sound like the Wesley I know. And Cinnabon's on Mars. Well, I didn't know where you were, Cinnabon, but that Mars is a big place, so that doesn't tell me anything. And I wouldn't dare attack you anyway. You already destroyed our first base. And that's the thing. You guys keep overestimating us, which is hilarious to me. You really do, because you seem to think that we're these super advanced players and we've got you guys out. We've harvested tons of resources. We built big bases, but we are not advanced players. None of us on our team are advanced players by any stretch. And so, you know, that's the problem. You guys think that we're all super advanced, and that's why you guys, you know, both you, Wesley, and Cinnamon have attacked us, thinking that we had this unfair advantage because we have more people on our team than Bird does. Well, Bird has a warship, apparently 2 of them. We have nothing. We have a mining ship. And, you know, a couple of ships that are crashed here and there. But yeah, that's, you know, that I think you guys misunderstand where we're at as a team. We're very proficient miners and builders as far as bases and stuff, but yeah. Cronus says, I tried playing that game 3 times, never even made a block. I'll tell you, Cronus, it is a tough game to learn. It really is, because the game, it's kind of like Minecraft in that there's not much of the line of instructions. You just got to know it. And so once you've been playing it for a long time, you learn stuff, but then you got to watch like tutorials and stuff like that. And that's what I don't like about the game. The game needs a complete and thorough tutorial. Not, and I mean an in-game tutorial, not watching a YouTuber do it, because I will tell you, watching these YouTube videos, and maybe it's because I'm old, most of them skip over so much crap and I have no idea what they're talking about. Oh yeah, just go in here and put a conveyor on here. Well, what the hell's a conveyor? You know, I didn't know. And so then I have to try and find another tutorial to tell me what the hell a conveyor is, you know? So yeah. Josh says, new rule, admins aren't allowed to join sides and are the referee. No, you see, I don't want to do that either because here's the problem. I want Cinnabon and Wesley to be able to have fun in the game. I absolutely do. And so I don't want to ban them from playing. That would be no fun for them. And it's not like they're getting paid to do this, so they need to be able to have fun. Otherwise, there's no motivation for them to do it. But the problem is that, if both of the uber advanced players, namely Wesley and Cinnabon, and I don't think anybody else is at their level, not that I know of anyway. However, if both of them are against one side, that side loses. And that's what's happened, is that we've been taken out already by Cinnabon once, and now we're about to be taken out by Wesley unless he... Yeah, and Wesley, it's okay. You don't feel guilty about anything you did. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. Because you're playing the game fair and square. You found our base. You're going to take us out. That's the way it is. We have to try to salvage what we can and relocate. The problem is that we have to be very careful because if you attack us while we're online, there's nothing we can do about it. But it's all right. And no, Matthew, no, there doesn't need to be a moratorium against attacking us. It's just that the problem is, and this is, again, I don't like this about the game, that everybody's hiding. And so with everybody hiding, as soon as, and that's the problem, like with today, when you guys were out there, and I thought we were just having fun. I didn't think you guys were going to use this as an opportunity to find the base. What I should have thought about it before I went out to meet you guys. I was just going out there to have some fun with you guys, and now we're screwed. So, because we can't, what are we going to do if we have, and this is, and this is a serious question to Wesley and Cinnabon on the server, and even Bird if you're still here. So we have an event, a race, or a staged combat zone or something where we have some kind of event in the game, and then you're going to follow us back to our base, and we're destroyed again. Is that how it's going to be now? Is it just okay? We're just going to be playing hide and seek. That's that. I want to know, because if that's what we're going to do, then we're not going to participate in those events because it'll just be a trap. Every time we meet you guys, it's just a trap. So there's no point. And I don't want the and Wesley, I'm not in the game right now. So even if you did send a GPS, I don't have it. I don't want the GPS to Kuroga. What I want is just, I was hoping that we would get the ship finished before you just came over and attacked. I told you the ship wasn't done, but I guess you didn't believe me. I wanted to have a real battle, but we're never going to have that because we just keep taking each other down before anybody builds up. So that's unfortunate, but that's the way it's going to roll, I guess. And again, I don't want the GPS to Kuroga. I just wanted to have fun in the game. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. You'll see, I'll show them when the chips are down. These civilized people, they'll eat each other. See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve. Ah, yes, old Joker. New Kuroga's coordinates have been shown on 3 streams. Okay, Bird. And yet we haven't shown up and just destroyed you. Besides, you said you have battleships in orbit. You're bragging about all the stuff that people have built for you. We don't have anything like that. So yeah, we're is the base destroyed again? Thomas, they know where the base is, so we're going to have to evacuate and relocate, unfortunately. But yeah. Anti-Trekker Wesley Snipes may be coming to the Blade movie, and he may play Dracula. Where was Dracula before, you might ask? Well, maybe the snap wakes up Dracula. I wouldn't mind seeing that, because I actually have, it's over there, but I actually have the Tomb of Dracula comic that Blade first appeared in. So I think that'd be cool. Rocksalt says, hey, Trigger, it's a trap! Yes. Bird says, no, your base is fine. No, the base is not fine. We are evacuating because Bird knows where it is. I was going to tell you this, but I crashed the Lagmore. Okay. I just saw the Lagmore 5 minutes ago. So you crashed it just now? Why? Wesley, don't, I don't want you to screw it up for yourself. I'm just saying that it's unfortunate the way the game has devolved, because I wanted us to have an open world where we were, with the transponders and stuff, where we knew where each other was. We were trying to build up and be strategic about it, but that's not what it's going to be. It's just going to be a game of hide and seek. And I can deal with that, but I'm not going to try to build any cool ships anymore because it takes too much time. And only advanced players will be able to have advanced ships, apparently. You guys need to do what TNG should have done 30 years ago. Get rid of Wesley Crusher. That's not true. Wesley's a good guy. I like Wesley, and so yeah. I was watching the stream and left the base running. It crash landed on the planet. And that sounds like what happened to me when I was watching Bird stream earlier. Because remember, I said I had a little ship. It was a repair ship. I had a bunch of welders on it, and I was actually coming out to meet you in that. It was called the Work Bee, and that's when I was watching the stream. And then I looked back at Space Engineers, and I realized I was in the planet's gravity and was over, which sucked. And Bird said we did crash. Okay. It was an accident. Well, you should have caught it on video then, Bird, because that would be one of those great moments. I hope you were recording it. Rocksaw says, don't forget, people, smash that like button, share via social, set chat to live, donate if you can, subscribe, turn in your mic before you stream, and down with Kuroga. Thank you, my friend. Mercer says, my friend took that picture. Oh, let me take a look. What is the picture Mercer sent, and why is this? Oh, let me get that out. Give me just a moment. Oh, very nice. So, a bottle of Coke with the names on it, and the name is Khan. Awesome. That's freaking awesome. If you have the Tomb of Dracula comic, may we see it? Sure. Give me just a second, and I will see if it's where I think it is. So in the meantime, I'll put on a little something just for my good friend Alexander, if he's still here.
The board vessel's moving into range.
On screen.
Let's get lost in that magic place all alone now. Drink a fill from my fountain of love, wet your lips. I'm a man, I'm a teaser, I'm a man, well I'm a virgin, I'm a man, I'm a one-night stand, a man, I'm a man, I'm a man, I'm a dream, I'm a dream divine, make love together.
He's dead.
And so, Daniel, so here it is, Marvel Comics, The Tomb of Dracula, number 10 from 1973, graded at a 9.0 by the CGC, and you'll see right there, that is the first appearance of Blade. So yes, was not making it up. Thomas says, I worked on Miss Sanctuary Throne Room from 11 a.m. to 4, so everything I worked on will be gone. It's getting aggravating. I know, that's the thing that's frustrating about the game. If we had clear-cut borders and stuff, then I thought, which I thought was what we were going to do, but we never did, and so everybody's just kind of scattered about. So it makes it so that, yeah, you can't build anything with any kind of security, which sucks. Let's see. Wesley says, I was watching the stream, wasn't paying attention. Yeah, but, Bird sent the picture of your crashed ship. I'm sorry. It just landed. That's not crashed. It's still in one piece, and I know so it's not like you can't fix it. So, grounded for at least a day, maybe more. Well, then it's not a big deal.
Hello world, it's BIRDOPREY.
Fire with Scott.
Oh man. Oh.
Good shooting, Mr. Scott.
So 7 of 9. That's a super chat in. And I'm not going to even read that. Well, it wasn't super chat, but a donation. I'm not going to even read that. If you can see it on the screen, congratulations. But yeah. So let's see. Wesley Snipes was in the running to play Jordy. I hadn't heard that. I didn't know that. But that's cool. Chronos, Santrek, perhaps this could be good material for Sunday's live stream. Not sure what you're talking about, Chronos. Wasn't recording because wasn't expecting to crash. Oh, too bad. That would have been good to have. Ships are too easy to crash. That's true. Sounds like Kuroga should be held off on the celebratory drinks. Yes. Thomas says maybe we should start on another planet. Yeah, you know, that's the problem though, is that the other planets are occupied. Like Cinnabon has Mars, and I don't know what other planets, if there are any, that exist. Yeah. And Alexander says, yes, of course he does. I've given you no word to keep, Admiral. In my judgment, you simply have no alternative. Very true. And yes, we know you love 7 of 9, Alexander, you freak. Doesn't Paramount give any crap to use Star Trek footage? Well, if you use less than 15 seconds, no. Yeah, that's the secret. You keep it down to short little bits, and you edit it very heavily. 1973, I was -5. Well, then, yes, I have a comic book sitting there that's 5 years older than you. Reflection, yeah, you can see the reflection in the comic book of the screen. Nerdrotic just went live. Of course he did, that jerk, but that's okay. I'm going to be wrapping it up anyway. And let's see. Wesley says, can't attack anytime soon. Yeah, but Wesley, you're missing the point. You know where we are. That base is no longer in any way, shape, or form secure, because since you know where it is, obviously Bird knows where it is. You guys have it saved in your GPS. You can tell me you deleted it, and you can tell me you're not going to attack all day long, but that's just trying to change the rules of the game to make people happy, and that doesn't make any sense. So, that's just it's a problem with the game, and we will recover, even though I know that that some of my fellow Turdistanis are demoralized by it. We will come back, I hope. But it sucks because, you know, I'm going to be back to work soon, so I won't be able to play nearly as much when that happens. So that I was hoping to get the Goliath done by then, but obviously that's not going to happen. Epic Beard says, I was -2 in 73. I hate you guys. I have so many hours of building our base. Game over. I know, but don't get too disparaged, because that base was incredible, Chris. We need to. I have an idea, but it's going to be a challenge. But you know, I think we can do it. Commander says we need to build a wall to keep Kuroga out of Turdistani territory. No kidding. Chrono says now things are just getting weird or weirder. Why is that? I must have missed something. Live with Matthew. I'm fine with non-attacking bases. It's not fun to lose a base. Well, it's not, but it's the thing is that's the problem with the game. Right now, we have no territories. We just have random bases scattered around. I was hoping that we were going to get to a point where we actually had territory in the game, and like people would encroach on it, and we'd have battles, but none of that's happening. Instead, it's all just a game of hide and seek. Josh, Rebecca, -11, 1973. Becky was -12. Hate you guys. There's a Spider-Man comic which Spider-Man and Blade go after Dracula. Or was it Morbius? Anyway, I got it at the beach a while ago. Did you read it? I don't recall that story specifically, so I'd probably not. I don't have a lot of vampire stuff in my Marvel collection. I do have one X-Men I'm rather fond of, where they fight Dracula. I was going to jump out of the ship before it crashed, but it was emptying the cargo containers and died when we hit the ground. You should have been recording, Bird. You could have Mars. I was going to start over in the alien planet. Well, no. I think we're going to stick to space. But I have an idea. And Tom says, do you mean our third base will have to be abandoned? Well, it depends on how long we have before they take us out. That's the problem. That's the big problem. We're going to have to act relatively quickly because they're just going to take us down. And we have a way to, I think we have a way to do this, Thomas, but it's going to take some work on our part. Kronos was -3. Neurotic has been live for 12 hours now. Will be so for another 15. Same old, same old. Wesley says, if you move every time we find you, then there'll never be any fighting. If there's no fighting, then what are we doing? Well, but that's the thing, though. That's why I said we should all everybody should just be honest and open about where they are, what they're doing, but we're not willing, nobody's willing to do that. And so, since nobody's willing to do that, we're the only one, and that's the funny thing, we're the only ones that have been found over and over. So, and I think part of it is because I've shown where we are too much. I say you guys start completely set the rules beforehand. Well, the problem is that there's too many people that have invested too much into the game. If we just wipe the server or something, that would be unfair to a lot of people. You don't need to abandon the base because we know where it is. Getting to it is still very unpractical for Kuroga. You got there with a freaking battleship. Don't tell me it's impractical. You just screwed up the landing. But you got there, But yeah. Thomas says, how are we supposed to fight when we have to relocate every time? Well, I don't know. Do you guys want... We can stand our ground if you want, but I'm just saying that's going to be... damn near impossible because we don't know where they are. They're not going to stage any kind of fair fight. So what do we do? Herman Schmeckelbeck doesn't get enough attention on Gary's. It's hard to get him to mention the Schmeckel. Well, I don't know why that is. Commander Shutter was -19 in 1970. Oh, I hate you. We're going to be pushing on the max of what we can build soon. I'm not sure how much the server can handle. Well, that's another problem in the game. We keep running into that. I thought, and that's the thing. Like if we, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. I literally have no desire to attack your base. Kuroga's coordinates have been... I'm not... But, here's the thing. Kuroga hasn't... As far as your ground base on the planet, I don't care. We're not going back to the planet. You can have the planet. Because Space Engineers is about space. It's not... the planet side stuff is cool for learning. But, yeah. Chris says, Andrew, we need to move. The ship isn't supposed to land. It was never meant to be in the planet's gravity. Yeah, I understand that, Bird, but Wesley said it'll be a day or two before you guys are back in space, so it's fine. Commander Shutter says bases are off limits, transponders on everything. I don't know about making bases off limits. And I think what we need to do. And Cinnamon saying the garbage settings need some adjusting. And that's the other thing is do we know what causes the random disappearances? Have we figured any of that out? That's a weird one. Enter watch Star Trek 3. It was easy for Admiral. Let's see. Antrekker, watch Star Trek 3. It was too easy for Admiral Kirk stealing the Enterprise. I agree. Actually, I watched Star Trek 3 recently, and yes, I agree. Thomas says, can you show the Mrs. Antrekker room I spent hours... I actually showed it, Thomas, just a couple of minutes before you came back on. I did, in fact, and because of the fact that the evil Kurogans found our base, I was like, okay, we're going to show you guys, even though it's not 100% done. But I still think that room can be salvaged. RMP says, let's play Star Trek Online instead. At least it's based on rules we can see and touch. Well... Yes, but the game sucks. That's the problem. Well, you can't ride Jeeps in space, so I don't intend to spend much time in space. Why not, Bird? That's the whole point of Space Engineers, is to build spaceships and space stations and stuff. Bird, has any of us turds attacked your new base? No, we have not, because, well, for one thing, I don't even know where it is, but even if we did know where it was, it's on the planet. Wesley said, never get your Jeep done, you should make one. I don't know, but I know Epic knows, and he's allied with you. Yeah, but that does. But again, Bird, when have we ever attacked? we have not, except for your initial base that was that you guys were already abandoning. How many days till the Goliath is done? I don't know. I've never ever, Wesley. Again, you keep overestimating my knowledge of this game. I have never built a ship like this. I've never built anything using a projector before. This is all new stuff to me. No clue. Crow says, don't forget about space jeeps. Absolutely, and that's the thing. Yeah, Bird, you should make a moon buggy and then make it so that it can fly in space. That would be hilarious. Epic says, I've had entire ships disappear with antennas, beacons, etc. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's weird. I don't know what's going on with that. It is really weird. And RMP throws a euro in. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And I'm sure any second now, BIRDOPREY is going to be blown up by Captain Kirk as soon as the computer realizes that you put that dollar in. I hope so. Bird says, you attacked me today only because you trapped me, and as it turns out, I was 100% right, because you were just the only reason. Oh, and there's RMP's thing.
Hello world, it's BIRDOPREY.
Fire in the sky. Good shooting, Mr. Scott.
Anyway, Bird, the only reason you asked me to come see your ship was so that you could find out where my base was. So there's that. Moon Buggy of Prey 5. Absolutely, I think that would be hilarious. I think Bird should do that. Enter Checker, do you think Admiral Kirk should take command of the Excelsior to save? Well, I think he should have asked for the Excelsior since they wouldn't give him the Enterprise, but obviously that wasn't going to happen. Let's see. BIRDOPREY, I pasted your base. Let's see. I pasted your base before you showed us, but I know I was more interested in the Devil's Tower. Yeah, the tower, actually, what you call Bird Butte, I think is pretty cool. Wesley says, we should go to the moon. Antricker says there are no moon bases. Well, you said that, but that's the thing, Wesley, and I don't know if you're using your admin powers or what. I don't know what you can see in the game, but you said you knew that Captain MKG was on the moon. If he is, because I honestly don't know. If he is, well, then there is a moon base. But apparently it's Captain MKG's, not ours. Even though he's part of our team. But he's been kind of working independently. He's just kind of a permanent ally. Let's see. A flying rover. Yes, that's what we need. I think, Bird, you should make a flying Jeep. That should be your thing. And Kongu, just as I'm getting ready to sign off, says hello. Hey, how you doing? The Epic ones do have a moon base, no secret. I don't know if it's still there with the game deleting things, though. It's an hour game time there and back. Yeah, that's a problem in the game, too, is the time it takes sometimes to do things. And, boy, you get anywhere near a planet with ion engines and you're screwed. But you try to use hydrogen and you just run out of gas. So it's like, ugh, that's frustrating. Let's see. Bird says, Captain MKG makes YouTube videos out of what he does on Space Engineer. Oh, I didn't know that. So I did not know he was doing that because I haven't watched much YouTube, to be honest with you. I've been just working on talking to doctors. And most of the time when I'm on the phone with the doctors, I'm in Space Engineers. And that's why I can't watch tutorials where I'm playing Space Engineers, because most of the time I'm on the dang phone the whole time. But just trying, like, I can't mess the whole pistons and rotors and all that. I have no clue. I don't even know how to build a freaking mining ship. I can build a warship to a certain extent, but I don't know anything about building a mining ship. And so I feel like I'm going to regret asking what Space Engineers. It is an MMORPG building simulator. It's a little of each. It's actually more or less a building simulator. Imagine Minecraft in space. And so, like, if I put on the game screen right now, this is this is just a splash screen for the game, obviously, the main menu. And all the stuff that you see, except for the people standing around in spacesuits, is built by players in the game. You harvest materials like in Minecraft. You use those materials to build various things. To build parts that you then assemble into various devices, like the ship that you see taking off there. And so And it's a really, really cool game. I absolutely love the game. There's a couple of really infuriating problems with the game, one of which is on our server, for some reason, we keep losing stuff. And nobody can figure out why, and it seems completely random that things just disappear out of the game. We haven't been able to figure out why that's happening. The game is, right now we're not playing any mods, the game's completely vanilla, and so that shouldn't be a problem. The only thing we can think of is that we have so much stuff in the game that the garbage cleanup routine of the game is somehow deleting stuff. But yeah, rotors can be crazy. They break when I use them. I haven't even been able to try to use one yet. I've just heard the term. I don't know what they even do. So at TNG, Miles is transporter chief, but we know he was a tactical officer on the USS Rutledge and Celtic 3. And DS9 is an engineer, again, with no commission. My question is why? I thought he got a commission when he was on DS9, but maybe I'm wrong. A man loves his space Jeep like... That's very good. For long flights in space using hydrogen with the current speed limit, you just have to coast a whole lot. Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying, I don't, there are certain things about the game that are very infuriating. The garbage thing, whatever's causing that. The speed mod, I don't like, I don't like the fact that a person in a jetpack is the fastest thing in the game. That makes no sense. You should be able to get to another planet faster on a ship than in just a jetpack. And with the speed mod, it's just dumb, because when we had that speed mod in the game, I was literally building the base on an asteroid but every couple of minutes just coming down to the planet to recharge and load more stuff and then go back up with no spaceship necessary. So I think that the speed mod is not a silver bullet, because to me, it creates new stupidity in the game. At least you can make a ship. I can't get a genital pit to connect to anything. Well, I want to see what you're trying to do, Thomas. One of these days we need to work together on that and see why. Commander Shire, the ship I'm dreaming of will hopefully solve the running out of fuel problem. It'll be a hybrid with both Atmo and hydrogen engines, and the latter will fold down into the hull of the ship. That would be cool, Commander. I'd love to see that. And let's see. And Chief says stupid writing in TNG is the reason for Miles' problem with his commission. Yes. Wesley says tried to turn it on to Live with Matthew. Oh, scripting. Yes, I heard scripting is on. I think, didn't Cinnabon say scripting is on now? So it should work now. Let's see. I'll have to check it when I make it back. I think it's a 3-hour trek to the nearest planet. Dang, where are you, Live with Matthew? I thought you were in Kuroga with Bird. Miles has no pips on his collar, so no rank, or at least after the 4th season. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. Bird says, so you started in space by cheating. How is it cheating? You had the speed mod too. You could have done it. You absolutely could have done it. In Redemption Part 2, Miles served a tactical while Worf was on Kern's ship. I don't remember that, but I'll take your word for it, but I'm not sure what the point there is. Then you had a mod removed before Kuroga could use the speed mod to get to space. I suggested we remove the speed mod because of all the stuff disappearing. When that and it seemed at first to work, but then stuff started disappearing again, and I asked why were we going to put the mod back in, and got no response. I don't mind hosting games on my PC to show new players. Who needs the most help learning how to play? Well, here's the problem, Wesley. Then you got to have time that someone can dedicate to that, and I appreciate the offer because you've shown me a lot. And I do appreciate that, but yeah. And Cinnamon says, I thought so. I thought West turned scripts on for someone's asking on Discord. Yeah, I don't know as far as, so I thought you guys had it on, but if it's on, it is. If it's not, it's not. Live Matthew says, I wanted to tour the solar system. I think there are only 2 other planets and moons, so I'm en route to the next planet. Oh, okay. Very cool. Anyway, guys, it is getting late. I need to wrap it up. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. As always, you guys are the coolest. And no hard feelings, Bird or Wes, really. We just, we have to recover. As far as the Turdistanis, Thomas and Chris, since you guys are the main other Turdistanis, I have an idea, but it's gonna it would. But the problem is it'll depend on if they attack our base. If they attack our base, it won't work. If they don't attack our base for a little bit, our idea could potentially work. However, I don't know how to do everything on this, so it's going to be tough. So I will, right after this, I'll get in the game for just a minute. If you guys are around, get in the game, and we'll talk about it in the chat in the game for a minute, and then we'll go to bed or do whatever you're doing. All right, guys, take care. Have a good one. Don't forget to tip your waiter. And, of course, the credits don't work. Let's try.
We got it. We got it. Ah, shit. Okay, now we need to possibly use the rockets. No. We got it. We got it. Ah, shit. Okay, now we need to possibly use the rockets. No. Yes. Come on. No. Come on. No. Ah. Oh, God damn it. Wait, we can do it. Oh! Why do you hate me? Oh! Oh no. I'm not crying. I've got soot in my eyes.